Hey everybody, welcome back to Heart and Gardening and Home. I am Kate, and today I'm just going to do a quick little up potting video on the tomato seedlings. I did already start. This is a 40 cell tray and I started 40 varieties and literally every variety germinated, which is absolutely insane. They need to be thinned out and go into their own little homes so they can grow and flourish until the last frost date, which is about 4 weeks away, mid-April for me. I'm also wanting to do something that is going to be highly frowned upon. I want to experiment, everybody take note, and I actually want to plant out a couple into the yard right now. Why right now? It's March. My last frost date isn't for another month. An experiment. I've looked at the 10-day forecast. The lowest night we get is 39-40. We've had really warm temperatures during the day, and it seems that they're going to stick around. Now, before anybody, drops in the comments, I know that below 50 degrees, tomato plants can struggle. They can struggle with their fruit production. They can struggle growth-wise, all those things. That's why you want to wait until after the frost date, when the nights are usually in about the 60s. I know all this. And I'm still going to do it anyway. I have the extra space, I have the extra tomatoes, and a lot of these cells have 3 or 4 plants. I'm only going to keep 2 of each variety today to up pot. So that leaves me with a lot of babies that, I'm not going to plant them out today. I'm actually going to let them harden off a little bit over the next 2 or 3 days, and then I will take some more video clips of me potting. I'm thinking 2 or 3 out to experiment, maybe a cherry tomato variety, and then one of the bigger ones. The worst that can happen is if a freeze comes in the next month and kills them. That's the worst thing. I'm not gonna plant out any of my serious ones until after the last frost date, but I mean, why not have a little fun and see what happens? If for some reason there's not a freeze in the next month, which is unlikely, it's kind of unlikely. It's weird right now, how warm it's been and how warm our nights have been. Usually it's just kind of up and down all through March and April. But if that frost doesn't come and I can get a tomato in June, maybe my early June, because usually they come about the end of June, July for me. If I could get one earlier in June, wouldn't that be something? So why not experiment? It's an experiment, I know, but why not? If you are a complete play it by the book person, then I've probably just made you cringe beyond reason, but I'm not a play it by the book person. I read the books, I know what to do, and then I'm gonna still do what I want to do. I'm just gonna pot one for you guys today. I use red Solo cups, and these last all season, and then I put them up in my shed and they're ready to go another season. Since I'm going to end up with 80 potted tomatoes, 2 of each variety, 40 varieties, I had to go ahead and get some more cups. And so I just wanted to show you a little technique today. Make sure that you do drainage holes. If any type of pot, container, whatever, does not have drainage holes, you're setting yourself up for failure. Make sure you put drainage holes in anything that you grow in. Simplest thing to do for getting good drainage holes is just to grab a drill and a drill bit and stack them up like this and poke down, come out, and do that 3 or 4 times. And then you usually get through about 4 or 5. Only got through that 5 that time, but it's a lot quicker doing that than doing one at a time. So I should have pressed a little bit harder and I could have got a little bit deeper and got through maybe 1 or 2 more, but that's a quick way to get your drainage holes. Okay, so we have our cup with drainage holes. I have a pile of soil down in the yard that I am spreading out, amending beds, and I just grab it and put it in a grow bag to make it easier to get some dirt. And then I have just some craft popsicle wooden sticks or whatever for crafts, and I use those. I do have these tags. They came in I think a grow bag order or something. I don't really like these because I feel like that's a lot of plastic, but I am using them because they came in what I bought. But I usually buy the popsicle sticks, and I will just really just snap one in half, and I'll write very small on this part and stick it in the top of the pot. Okay, so let me grab, I also have this little tool that came with one of my trays, and I'm loving it this year. It makes getting the plants out of the cells a lot easier. So we have our cup of soil, and I'm just simply, I'm going to go for these Berkeley tie-dyes, and I'll reuse this tag too because I'm doing 2 cups. Here is the cell, and as you can see, the roots, they're ready. So what I do is I look at each of the plants and kind of evaluate where they're at progress wise, which ones have the thickest stem, and I'm going to obviously pick the 2 healthiest out of the 3 or 4 that are in these cells. So what happens is I end up having to say goodbye, and I just gently pull off the one I don't want. This was the smallest one, so sorry, seedling. And then I gently pull apart these. Tomatoes roots are very forgiving. That's why you can densely plant them in their cells. And I just make a nice decent size hole into my cup. And what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna tear off these 2 bottom lower leaves, and I'm gonna plant as much of this stem as I can, because with tomatoes, roots will grow all along, new roots will grow all along the stem. It's wild. And so I'm gonna plant this very deep, and so it'll produce a bunch more roots and turn into a even stronger plant. Okay, so I have it stuck in there, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab some more dirt and fill it to the top completely around the stem, and it's gonna look like I almost have a little tiny baby tomato plant, and that's it. So all the roots will grow along basically this whole cup and provide a much healthier and stronger plant. There's a bigger dirt clump, and that's how you do it. I choose to keep 2 varieties at least of each plant in case I mess up, and you know, there's so many factors between now and my last frost date. I could mess up overwatering them. I could mess up, forget a day and not water them enough. I could take them out to harden off and mess up, leave them out too long and kill some. So I always try to keep at least 2. I'm only keeping 2 this year because there are so many varieties, because sometimes I'll keep 3 or 4, but I'm only keeping 2 of each variety this year. And then if I can't keep at least one of them alive, then I guess that variety is just out for 2021, which is okay because we do have a lot of varieties. So if something happens, I'm not going to stress out about it. So I wrote on my little stick that this is the Berkeley tie-dye, and I will just stick it in there like that. And then I'm going to use the same tag that I had in the tray for this other one. And now I have my 2 Berkeley tie-dyes in their own homes so they can take off and flourish. still potting up and will be for a little while. I will cut this video here, and in the next part, it'll be a few days after I've hardened off a couple tomatoes. We'll plant them, and so I'll see you in the future. Okay, so I was gonna wrap this video up by planting out. I went ahead and picked the 3 varieties that I was going to plant out early, so the varieties I decided on that I was gonna put out was a blueberry cherry. Was it a blueberry cherry? Let me double check. It wasn't blueberry cherry, it was orange currant. So I was gonna put out orange currant. I saved an extra black crim and an extra Cherokee purple, and those were the ones that I was gonna wrap up this video with and put out early. My last frost date is like April 16th. But then we got a bunch of bad storms, so I had to put it off, like really bad storms and flooding. And so they've been hardening in the little outdoor mini greenhouse I have, hardening off. And so I was getting ready to, and then I jinxed it, and our overnight lows are gonna be super cold the next couple days. I'm talking like 24 degrees. 24 degrees Fahrenheit. I'm not sure what that is Celsius, but there's no way that a tomato plant can survive that. I am stressing out about my cold hardy stuff. Actually, my brassicas, my peas are not going to like 24 degrees. Pretty much everything that's out right now, they're cold hardy, but 24 degrees is a hard freeze. And so I jinxed everything. I knew that it would probably dip back down at some point. I did not think 24 degrees, but that's what's happening. So I am going to still put them out earlier than the last frost date, just for fun. It looks like I'm looking at, like, today's Tuesday, so maybe like Saturday or Sunday I can put them out. So that'll still be like 2 weeks or so early, not, you know, as early as I wanted to, but I think I'm still gonna do it. I might put out a couple extra at that point, depending on the 10-day forecast from Sunday, as that would be approaching really close to the last frost date. So I wanted to go ahead and just update you on that instead of actually putting something out as the end of this video, we can't. 24 degrees, that's very cold. I am going to have to do some extra work with my brassicas. Monday I'll try and get a little video together, because I might put out a couple more extra on top of that, depending on the 10-day forecast. But we are super close to getting all these tomatoes planted out. We're going to be working on hardening off some more in the next couple days, and that's where I'm at tomato wise. So I will catch you guys on the next video, and thanks for watching, and sorry this kind of took a different turn ending wise, but that's gardening. I'll see you guys later.